Welcome to part 2 of behaviours that we need to get rid of in order to boost our self-confidence as we get older. Hi, I'm Dolly. Thank you so much for tuning in. If you're new here, welcome. And if you're a returning subscriber, thank you so much for tuning in once again. Before we get on to the next set of behaviours, I would strongly recommend, if you haven't watched part 1, please do so, where I go into certain reasons on why it's important to boost our self-confidence with age. The link will be in the description box down below, as well as at the end of this video. So do please stay tuned until the end. So in part 1, we discussed the first 3 behaviours that we needed to get rid of. Now we'll move on to behaviour number 4. That is, holding on to past regrets. Growing older comes with its own share of experiences, both good and bad. We've all made mistakes or taken detours that we wish we hadn't. It's part of the human experience, part of what makes us who we are today. But clinging on to those past regrets, that's where the problem lies. Harbouring past regrets does nothing but deplete our self-confidence. It's like carrying a heavy burden that constantly weighs us down, preventing us from moving forwards and embracing our future with confidence. Now remember, there's no time machine, no magic wand to change our past. However, we do hold the power to shape our future. So it's time for us to let go of our past regrets, acknowledge them, learn from them, but don't let them define us or our self-worth. Moving on to behaviour number 5 that we need to get rid of. That is being overly self-critical. This is a two-way conversation, so do please pop down in the comment section below if this is something that you are guilty of. I have been in the past, and it's great to share with the community how we're all doing. So, let's be honest, we can be our own worst critics. We berate ourselves for mistakes, dwell on our flaws, and set impossibly high standards that we often fail to meet. This constant self-criticism can chip away at our self-confidence and leave us feeling unworthy. I had a private client who had sessions on boosting their self-confidence, and one of the things that they used to say is they used to hold themselves in such high standards, that they would beat themselves up over the smallest mistakes. It was an exhausting and a confidence-damaging cycle. Well, it's time to stop all that. Just remember, nobody is perfect, so why should we waste our time trying to be? We all make mistakes, and that's okay. It's part of being human. It's where our greatest growth could come from. So instead, start practicing self-compassion. Be kind to yourself when you make mistakes and recognize that everyone has flaws and imperfections. When we do this, we begin to see ourselves in a more positive light, and our self-confidence will naturally start to grow. Moving on to behaviour number 6. We need to get rid of the thought of living in the future. It's easy to get caught up in the what ifs and what ifs and when I's and what if I don't achieve my goals. When I lose weight, then I'll be confident. These thoughts have a way of stealing our present joy and confidence. Tell me down below, are these questions you have considered to yourself? I used to find myself constantly worrying about the future. Will I be successful? Will I have enough for retirement? It was a constant cycle of stress and anxiety that kept my self-confidence at bay. Now that was another dilemma that a client came in with, that fear of never reaching what they wanted in the future. But here's what you need to understand. The future is not guaranteed. All we really have is this moment right here, right now. So instead of us constantly worrying about the future, let's start just focusing on the present. Let's celebrate our small wins, enjoy every moment of every day, and practice gratitude. This shift in mindset will not only help us feel more self-confident, but also allows us to truly enjoy our journey into our older age. Moving on finally to behaviour number 7 that we need to get rid of. And this is definitely a work in progress for me, and it is all about neglecting self-care. Audrey Hepburn once said, "As you grow older, you will discover that you have 2 hands, one for helping yourself, the other for helping others." It's a gentle reminder of the importance of self-care, and it's something that I've come to appreciate the more that I practice it as I get older. In my past, I would often put everyone else's needs ahead of my own. I thought it was the right thing to do. Is that something that you can resonate with? But as time passed, I realised that constantly neglecting my own needs wasn't doing anyone any favours. In fact, it was doing just the opposite. Neglecting self-care can lead to burnout and resentment. I sometimes used to get cranky. It can make you feel like you're constantly running on empty, with no energy or enthusiasm left to enjoy life. Now that can take a serious toll on our self-confidence. So if we want to feel more self-confident as we get older, it's time to say goodbye to the habit of neglecting self-care. Let's start by prioritising our health, our hobbies, our passions. Let's take time to do the things that make us happy and rejuvenate our soul. I used to think that self-care was actually selfish, but then I remembered that I can't pour from an empty cup. So taking care of ourselves isn't selfish, it's actually essential. So as we embrace this behaviour, we'll see a noticeable increase in our self-confidence. I do hope you liked this short video. I hope you found it useful, and do please like and comment down below. Do please also share with any others that you feel will resonate with such content. And if you haven't already subscribed, I'd greatly appreciate if you would do so. Until the next time, thank you so much for tuning in. Stay blessed, keep smiling, keep shining, because you are amazing.